Hi fam, how are you? Hope you're doing great. Okay, so I think it's been a little while since I haven't given you an update. And this video, the way that I see them is basically me sitting down, like if I was at a coffee shop with a friend and having some real talk conversations of like, okay, I know social media sometimes can be like, we're all showing our best selves and everything's fine and everything's pretty and everything's aesthetically pleasing. But I want to know, like, how are you doing? Like when I sit with my friends, we talk about what's really going on, and that's what I want to create in these videos, a space where I feel safe to share and you can feel safe to listen and know that we are all having this human experience together. We all feel the same things. And once I understood that, I just felt so much grace and compassion for everyone else and for myself as well, because I know that I'm not the only one out there going through certain things, whether it's a high or low. I know that I'm not the only one, and that always makes me feel better. So I wrote it all down because I don't want to forget anything. It's been a year since I changed my diet. Well, more than a year since I changed my diet. And a year since the whole news broke out that, I was caught eating fish. Honestly, 2019 was one of the hardest years of my life because I went through something that I wasn't prepared to go through. I went through a lot of hate on social media that I don't wish it upon anyone. A lot of bullying, and I went through a lot of criticism, and it's hard, honestly. I mean, you can just brush it off and say like, I don't care what people think, I don't care what people say. And yes, to a certain extent, I've been on social media for so many years that I have a tough skin and I can handle a lot. But there also comes a point where I'm human and I feel, and I honestly, I can't control if something hurts me or not. But what I can control is my perspective towards it and my mindset towards it and my attitude towards it and how I see the situation. So thankfully, I've been working on myself for years now. And I know that everything that happens in my life, whether it's a good or bad thing, it's an opportunity for me to grow. And once I see a certain situation in that light of like, this is gonna help me grow and this is gonna help me be a better person, and what can I learn from the situation, it just changes everything. And sure, it's still hard, but it makes it a little better because it adds purpose, it adds a meaning to it. And 2019 was a year for me to focus on myself. 2019 was just a year of transitions. Like I went through a lot of transitions in my career, in my business, in my personal life, new city and all of that. So now I can look back and I can say that I'm so grateful that that happened, because now I feel free and I learned to put my health as number one, because if I don't take care of myself, I can't give anything to the world, and I can't show up as my best self for my family, for my friends, for my teammates, for the people, you guys that I want to help and motivate and inspire to live a healthier life. If I don't start with myself, I'm not going to be able to do it. It's just impossible. And that's the reality of things. Sometimes I felt like I wasn't seeing improvement, I wasn't seeing a lot of change, but then I realized that I wasn't putting in the work. Everything takes time. So taking that time for myself every single morning, taking that time for myself every single day to do the things that help me be a better person, that are really like self-love. It's not just doing the bath, it's actually, doing my meditation, being conscious of what my thoughts are, how am I talking to myself, how am I speaking, how am I thinking about myself, how is my mindset, how is my attitude, and knowing that I'm worthy to take that time every single day to do that, to do my workout, which is a time for me, and doing it, putting in the work is what is gonna make the difference. And so many times last year and in my life too, I feel like I want things to happen like really fast. I wanna feel better now. I wanna be like this now. And things don't happen like that. Like things always take time, and it takes work every single day. It takes consistency. It takes persistence and perseverance. And that is what essentially makes a difference and helps you grow and helps you improve. So cheers to that. One thing that I've also gotten into a lot lately is just reading more. Like this last year, unconsciously, I just started reading more, and I feel so safe when I read a book. I don't know why. I just feel like cozy and warm, and trying to read one book a month. And I recently just finished a few. And I've also been listening to audiobooks. So one is from Daniel Habib that I recently read. Another one is called Mindset, You Are a Badass. And one that I recently started reading again is this one, A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose by Eckhart Tolle. And it was really nice to go back to it because I am a highlighter. I don't know if you guys like to highlight, but I often like to highlight in my books. So it was really interesting to see and go back the things that I highlighted and the things that jumped out at me. So that's something that I've really been liking. I go a lot more towards like the self-help books and health and meditation. I also like cooking books. So those are the books that I've been leaning more towards. I would love to know what books you've read that have changed your life or that you're reading now, because I always am interested to know more book recommendations. My relationships, this year more than ever, I've really come to understand that the most important thing that we have in this world is our health and is the people around us. So my husband and my family and my friends, that is the most important thing, because that's the love. You can be super successful or not successful, or have a lot of money or not a lot of money, or live in a good place or a bad place, or be in a high or a low in your life. But if you have your core, your love, people around you, everything is so much better. And when I truly saw that this is the most important thing, when I was going through all of that hate online, and I put my focus into the most important things in my life, everything changed, and I suddenly became so grateful. And I realized that I wasn't being grateful. For months, I was in a very just negative space, and it was like part of it. I had to go through that, because then when I began to see the light, I appreciated it so much more. Another thing that I've been working on again is my affirmations. I feel like I stopped doing it for a few months, but now I started back again. So I say them like all the time in the shower, sometimes in the mirror, or when I'm working out. Anytime like that I catch myself saying something negative to myself or putting myself down, I flip it around and I turn it into an affirmation, because that is what I want to attract more of. I want to feel that. And all of this, online hate that I went through really got to me, but I've been building myself up, and it's taken work. It's taken a lot of inner work to do it, because when you feel like everything's going against you and you're going against the current, then you start working on yourself and you realize that the truth is how you see yourself and how you perceive yourself. And that is the ultimate truth. And that's the only thing that matters, because, comment is just a projection of themselves. So another thing is that last year I wasn't in therapy, and this year I'm gonna start therapy again. I felt like I needed that time to just kind of listen to myself, find the answers within, and stop a little bit of the noise outside, and really try to understand myself more and apply everything that I learned during therapy. So now I feel like I'm ready again to get into therapy, because there's things that I know that I want to work on, but I can't do it myself. It's just quicker. I feel like it's more efficient if I have someone who can help me through this and who can facilitate this inner work to happen. So I'm really excited for that, and I'm starting that actually this week. So another thing is that this sharing my life and health and wellness is my passion. It's something that I really love to do. I look forward to it every single day, eating healthy, exercising, and I like motivating and inspiring others through my example and through my experiences to do the same, because it changed my life so much. And that's why I've continued doing this, because if I felt like it really wasn't and I was ready for a change, I would have done it, or I would have left social media or something. So a lot of people are like, how can you take all the criticism? Like, I admire you that you've been able to stand up and keep going. And yes, I'm gonna keep going, because I have dreams that I want to see come into fruition, and I'm not gonna let anyone or anything stop me from doing that, because I know that I'm helping thousands of people improve their health, Okay, so I talked about my post-surgery explants, how everything's been going in another video, and I'll link it below, so I'm not gonna talk about that. So my fitness, okay, I wanted to talk about that because I feel like it's changed a lot lately. Since October, I wanna say, was kind of when I stopped lifting really heavy. I feel like I just wasn't really drawn to it as much. Like it came a point early in November when I just wasn't enjoying it as much, and by that time it was like cold, like it was holiday season, and I really embraced for the first time just being cozy and warm and not really worrying about working out. So I was still being active, obviously, like walking, and then I would take like spinning classes, but I didn't really have a structure. I kind of just let it flow, and it felt good, honestly. Like all I wanted to do those days was just like cozy up and work and drink a tea and drink some coffee and walk Stella, and that's exactly what I did. But this year, you know, after a little while, I can't stand being like that for too long because I like structure. Like I like having a plan. I like setting fitness goals. And lately I've been really into Pilates, which is something weird. Over the years, I've always been like very high intensity person, and I still like high intensity. I do hit classes 2 times a week, but I'm not doing something high intensity or like lifting super heavy anymore. I'm working more on gaining strength, working with my own body, doing at-home workouts and Pilates, specifically with the reformer. I really love that you can just stretch your whole body and you can still work it, and you have to think about every single part of your body and engage everything. So I've really been enjoying Pilates lately, and now I have a structure. So one of the things that I started doing this year in January is using my planner. So I've always had planners, but I never really followed them or used them. But this year, I've actually been very consistent with it, which I'm proud of myself because it's already March. And that means that I've already done January and February. And I really like it because it helps me organize my days. There's also a section in this one. This one's called Queridita Agenda. It's actually in Spanish because, you know, I'm Mexican American. So it's in Spanish, but you can, like, I really like it because there's a space for your goals. So you set goals every month, personal goals, professional goals. There's also a section every single day for health, like, did you meditate? Did you eat healthy? Did you work out? Set up 30 minutes for yourself. How much water did you drink? So it's very health oriented, which I like. There's also a section where you can log your expenses. And that's one thing that, you know, this year I've set as a goal to just be more conscious of how I'm spending my money, manage my money, and keep track mostly, and then see where I can save more, because I feel like I never did that in the past. I was just like, oh yeah, like there's still money. I have money in the bank, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna, like, you know, make sure that I don't overspend or like don't go shopping so often, you know, things like that. And then when I became like minimalist, when I was like in my minimalist, super minimalist phase, and being like very minimalist helped me for that, because now I feel like I've found a balance. But the next step for me is really setting kind of like little budgets of like, I don't want to go over this limit so that I can save more. This way I can save money and we can use that money for investments in the future. My perspective towards money and towards management of money was always negative, and I realized that I had to change it. So if I wanted to see a difference, I had to change it. So have a more positive perspective, a more positive attitude, and a mindset growth. So mindset growth, that's another book that I recently listened to, an audiobook. It's called Mindset. So diet, let's talk about diet. What is my current diet? So first I'm gonna talk about my health, because I had some digestive issues. I had SIBO for the longest time, and I don't have SIBO anymore. thank goodness. I just have to be conscious to not drink too much kombucha because I love kombucha, and if I drink too much of it, then my body doesn't do well. So that's like the one thing that I look out for. The last months I also started taking some enzymes to help me digest food better. And I also have been drinking apple cider vinegar before every meal, like 15 minutes before every meal. And I found that that has really helped me in my digestion and just help me process everything better and absorb nutrients better. So all of my health is really, really good. I think part of it, like the hormones part, was my implants, and then the other digestive issues, changing my diet helped. So I'm really grateful for that. And now my diet, I guess I can say it's about 80% plant-based. Now my body, like if I eat carbs, if I eat like fruit, I'm fine. For a while I had to cut it all out. Now, and it sucked honestly because I love carbs. They just make me feel good. They make me feel full. They make me feel like energized. There's some weeks where I do go where I'm eating mostly plant-based, like all plant-based. And then there's other weeks when I'm pretty balanced, where I just eat eggs in the morning and then fish at night, or eggs in the morning and plant-based at night. And if I go out with my family to eat, maybe I'll eat chicken, maybe I'll eat beef. But I'm mostly, I guess, plant-strong diet, I guess you can say right now. And that feels really good. Now I just listen to my body and I let it flow. And that's really good because it's less stress on my body. My digestion is better, my absorption is better, and I feel better. My mood is better, I sleep better, I have more energy. It all goes hand in hand. Okay, one last thing that I want to talk about, which I'm really excited about, is that I'm working on a project. And for the longest time, ever since I changed my diet and the direction of my content, I didn't really know what to do, what to work on. You know, I thought about like doing an actual physical book, which is something that I do want to do in the future. And I'm kind of working towards that, but I'm taking it easy. In December, I had the idea to create an app. I thought about what I would like an app to have. Like if it was a wellness app, what would I want it to have? What would I want it to include? So the app, the first version, is going to be a meal prep app. And in the later versions, we're gonna add more components to it. But the first version is gonna be a meal prep app. So basically, once you download the app, it's going to ask you your age, your gender, your weight, your height, and your goals. So based on that, it's going to determine how many calories your body needs depending on your goals to get to a healthy weight. That is if you want to gain weight or lose weight. And then it's also gonna ask you what types of food you like. So if you like to eat vegetarian or keto or plant-based, pescatarian, if you have allergies, gluten-free. So basically it's going to adapt to each person's needs, which is gonna be super cool. And it's gonna be all meal prep based. So you're gonna get meal plans designed for you. And there's also gonna be a part just for the recipes. There's also gonna be a section for you to log in your food so you can add those foods that you make to your diary. Every month it's gonna be updated with new meal plans. So I'm really excited. We've been working on it for the past few months. So I'll let you know when that is happening. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for always being here, for your support, for your love. Honestly, I am here because of you. You inspire me, you motivate me every single day. And I am so grateful for the community that we've built, and I want to continue building on this community and make it even stronger. So this is just the beginning of a new era. Bye.